Hey, Philip. Hey, David. Yes, it will be. Philip, I'm making an assumption that we're gonna be able to fight our way out, but we have two less encounters on the Paladin livestream that we have to do over the Bard one, so I'm sure we're gonna get out and get our business taken care of, cleaning out inventory and that sort of stuff, and then we should be able to spend an hour or so maybe inside the Shadowlands. 45 minutes, something like that, so we'll see. Hey, Eric. No worries, no worries. Like I say, this is the time to spend time with family and friends, so enjoy it. Enjoy it. Thanks for being here and have a great holiday. I don't know as if you missed a lot of stuff, David. Act 2 I mean, well, it depends on, I guess, how you classify it. For me, Act 2 starts at the Shadowlands and continues all the way up until you enter the lower city of Baldur's Gate. So that includes not just the Shadowlands, but the section afterwards in between the two. So it's Act 2 is not nearly as long as Act 1 is. I don't think there's as many quests overall in it as there was in Act 1. But remember, Larian had a long time to perfect and work on Act 1. That was out there for everyone to see for a very long time, so they were going to be expanding Act 1 to be longer than others just to keep everyone's attention. But, I mean, I think, I haven't counted it, but I think inside the Shadowlands, there's at least a dozen side quests that are going on, or that can go on at any particular time. Some of them obviously depend upon decisions that you made in Act 1. You're not going to be able to do the whole Decide Minthora's Fate quest unless you've played that differently. And again, when I started the game, that quest wasn't even an option. That wasn't even there. So there are some that, you know, are going to depend on that, and some of them are mutually exclusive. You make a choice one way, and that's going to eliminate the opposing quest, depending upon which type of playthrough that you're doing. So, but yeah, Act 2 doesn't have as much content in it as Act 1 does, just from a pure hours perspective. But the Gauntlet, there's a lot to the Gauntlet. So between the Shadowlands, Moonrise, the Gauntlet of Shar, there's a lot there in it. But yeah, I mean, it might not take as many hours overall. Probably that's true. Hey, Lord Henry, welcome back. Yeah, it's a fun time here. And again, with multiple different ways to come into it, it can change your introduction to the Shadowlands quite dramatically. We're gonna come into the Shadowlands one way here on the Paladin playthrough. We're gonna come into it an entirely different way on the Bard playthrough. So you can see how two different ways to introduce the Shadowlands happen. Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 20 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Paladin gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, on some admin notes, first, if anyone was here on the previous live stream, you encountered a couple of stream buffering issues that were some issues with my streaming software. I've restarted OBS Studio. Hopefully that cures the problem and we don't see it anymore. I haven't had the stream completely drop off. YouTube seems to be okay. It just seemed to be a couple of disconnection issues with OBS. So hopefully that's taken care of. If not, I'll deal with it as it happens, but it normally only takes a couple of seconds to reconnect. So I apologize if it happens again. Next thing is we are in the holiday season. So first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I know this is a busy time with family and friends, as it should be, and I want to thank you for spending time with me today. I really can't thank you enough for that. That being said, next week is the day before New Year's Eve. I might have some family and friend constraints going on. So for now everything is okay, but if things change around and there becomes a conflict, I will put a note on the community tab and also on my social media. My social media links are on the About tab on the YouTube channel. So you can watch out for an announcement if I'm going to make a change. If everything's okay, then it'll be business as usual. But we'll just cross our fingers and hope everything works out, that I'll be able to join you next time. Last thing is the big news from the game this week is obviously Hotfix 15. Hotfix 15 dropped on Thursday, and with the other hotfixes, it includes performance issue corrections. It improves some graphical and rendering issues. It also adds some new language versions to the game, which is always great to see. One of the things that it also corrects is that annoying bug that we talked about last week of your companions not following you when you jump across a chasm or something like that. That has now been corrected. I've done some playtesting offline, and some of the times that we did it in our last live stream earlier today, everything seemed to work okay. So hopefully that annoying bug has been worked out, and now our party will actually stay together. But we will see as we go. So, hey Astamura, welcome back. And hey Star, welcome to the stream. So, on our recap, at the end of last week, we had just finished up the fight with the Inquisitor. And as I mentioned during the Bard live stream, once the fight with the Inquisitor is done, you don't want to waste time doing other things. Don't try and loot everybody. Don't try and search the entire room. Don't try and do any of that, because there seems to be a time limit of some sort. I don't know entirely what it is. But Lae'zel, this is one of the critical parts of her main companion quest line, and you do not want to wait around. She says in her dialogue with Vlaakith that we will go into the astral plane immediately, and you definitely want to do that. In my personal playthrough, she turned hostile toward me while I was looting the room, and there was no choice. You couldn't knock her out. Well, you could knock her out, but she would just die. She wouldn't reappear anywhere after a long rest. Once you killed her, you couldn't resurrect her. She was just gone. So there's a chance that she can leave your party here if you don't do this quickly. So as I mentioned in the Bard live stream, we want to get in here and we want to get into the astral plane as quickly as we can. And then again, once we're in the astral plane, we want to make sure we get into the cave as quick as we can. So we're going to go click right on the planecaster here.
Don't do it.
Heat pulses out of the astral prism as it begins to flower. Your mind burns hot with excitement. A timeless space, bounded, compressed in a fold. A pocket of astral plane.
Boundless. Timeless. Like every dream that ever was stitched together. It is home.
Okay, and now once we're in here, again, we want to make our way. I have not encountered a problem with Lae'zel in here at this point. However, I've never tested it either. I guess I can just drop a quick save here, so in case anything happens. But I do want to check something. Okay, so that divine bone shard is there. Okay, there's not one out here. I didn't get a chance to play through this off in between streams. I was too busy getting the previous stream ready for upload. So I'll talk about that when we come out. But for now, we're going to head into the Beckoning Cave here.
Here we go.
Come. We will talk in private. Just the two of us. Suit yourself. But only the leader of your group is coming in. I will not allow anyone else.
By all means, carry on. I'll come running if you need me.
I may have made a mistake, trusting you. I told you to stay away from the Githyanki. But you just couldn't help yourself. Could you? And now... you've come here to murder me. You misunderstand. The Zaith'isk was going to kill you. I couldn't let that happen. It is the very least of Queen Blackith's deceptions. That was uncalled for. Though, a spell well cast. I suppose I can't blame you. You are threatened by the tadpole and you think I prevented you from being cured. Very well. See for yourself.
A palace of memories opens up to you, separated into segments. Within one segment you see it. The truth, exactly as the figure said. She saved your life.
The Githyanki had no intention of letting you survive purification, and I had no intention of letting you die. And now that you know the truth, what will you do? It seems I was right to put my faith in you after all. Thank you. Vlaakith will be furious, to make no mention of your Githyanki companion. The Lich Queen fears nothing more than the loss of her empire. The knowledge I have of her deception will bring that about. Vlaakith is lying to the Githyanki. They believe she knows how their beloved mother Gith defeated the Mind Flayer Empire. But she does not. If the Illithids would ever rise to power again, she would be incapable of stopping them. And if her people found out about her impotence, there would be mutiny, revolution, the end of her rule. But that very power, the power to resist Illithid control, which Vlaakith only pretends to know, is how I've been protecting you. I suppose she hoped to extract it from my corpse. Since you spared me that fate, she will come for you. A logical question, but you're not ready for the answer. I have delayed long enough. The next attack is overdue, and I can't risk you being caught in the middle of it. I need you out there, searching for the Absolute. You were on the right path, to Moonrise Towers. Return to it. I hope you are ready to face Vlaakith's wrath. The entire Creche stands ready to kill you in her name. Good luck.
Speak. Have you killed my queen's enemy? Vlaakith does not lie to her faithful. Open your mind. Show me.
Your mind tingles. Lae'zel seeks entrance. Your thoughts become one. She sees the truth of your confrontation in an instant.
Vlaakith Tafkinazin. I see only madness. Vlaakith bears the full might of Tunarath's arms, and the covenant of the Great Mother Gith. Skvar! We are leaving this place, now!
So, as I've said before, I do like playing out the conversations slightly differently. That conversation, there are some very specific choices there that can lead to, like I say, Lae'zel leaving your party entirely. So, I'd like to throw out some different dialogues there for y'all to see, but at the end, I don't want to lose Lae'zel from my party. So, some of it is going to play out the same, and you're going to see that, you know, as we go along. We're going to pick up all of the weave moss here. We're going to go pick up the Divine Bone Shard. We can do some more searching over here. Scroll of Telekinesis. That's always good. Telekinesis is actually quite powerful. Have here just another description of the conflict between Vlaakith and Orpheus, represented by the dragons and the comet. Another Divine Bone Shard here. Okay, and again, like I said during the Bard playthrough, I'm going to go back to my personal playthrough and see if I can find where I'm missing that third bone shard. I know I've picked up 3 in the past. I absolutely know I have. I've only found 2 here on both of these playthroughs, so not entirely sure what's different or what has changed. I hope it wasn't something with the hotfix that caused one to flip through a floor or something like that and we can't see it.
I'm glad you came to your senses. Now leave, before the others come for us.
Okay. So, yeah, Philip, that's right. If you do enter the Planecaster first, when you come back, the Inquisitor is immediately going to attack you, and then you're in a world of hurt, because you are surrounded at that point. You have Ardents on both sides, the Inquisitor's right next to you, and you have a Raider and a Warrior that are both coming down from this direction. So yeah, I much prefer the way that I play it, so I can prep for it a little bit more than that. But yeah, certainly understand how that happens. So we obviously can talk to Lae'zel here.
Vlaakith. Vlaakith! I have wielded your fury as a blade, roared your wrath as a dragon. You promised ascension. Yet I crawl among my own people, low as an asp's belly. Shkageth! I followed your path. What good? This heart of stone, for it to be shattered. She tests me. A trial of faith. Kalir prepared me. Only the heaviest souls soar to the Astral. Yes. Yes. I might gain Vlaakith's favor yet. Silence! I must think.
And again, as I said during the Bard live stream, Devora Wild's performance coming through there, you start to see much more of an emotional arc for Lae'zel going forward, which is always fun to see how the actors play it. So now that we've got the chance, now we can go back and do our searching around the room. So we'll just go through here and pick up a bunch of items. So we talked about the Diadem of Arcane Synergy in the Bard playthrough. This is whenever you inflict a condition, you gain Arcane Synergy for 2 rounds. Arcane Synergy is whenever you have this condition on you, the Arcane Synergy condition. So you inflict a condition on an enemy, and then you receive the Arcane Synergy condition. And then once you're affected by it, all of your weapon attacks gain additional damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. Now, that can get to be a lot of damage for, well, quite a bit of additional damage for my Paladin character. And what I mean by that is that, as we learned in the last live stream, Hunter's Mark is a condition. So as soon as I cast Hunter's Mark on somebody else, I'm going to gain Arcane Synergy for 2 rounds. Now, once I've got that, the Arcane Synergy is now going to be doing additional damage on my weapon attacks equal to my spell casting modifier. My spell casting modifier is a +4 from Charisma. So if I wanted to sacrifice the ability to cast Hunter's Mark, I could use the Arcane Synergy diadem here, but I have a backup to that in that Hex works the exact same way. Hex is the necrotic damage version of Hunter's Mark, so I can give up Hunter's Mark, cast Hex in its place, still get extra damage like I do from Hunter's Mark, but yet also gain additional damage from Arcane Synergy every time I hit with my weapon. Now again, I'm going to be losing Hunter's Mark. I'm also going to be losing resistance to fire damage. Fire damage is a pretty big deal. It's everywhere in this game. The other thing is you can't land critical hits on me, but you also can't land critical hits because of the splint armor I'm wearing, so that doesn't go away. So all in all, I think right now, it's probably an even change for me to go up and try this out and see how well it works. All right. Potion of speed, that's always good. More crafting supplies.
Let's have a look.
And here's the Inquisitor. So from the Inquisitor, you're always going to get a Potion of Angelic Slumber. This basically gives you a long rest. You can use this not just not just out of combat. You can also use it in combat if you would like. As long as you want to keep that character protected for 2 turns, you could have that character drink this. Then you could cast Sanctuary or cast something like that on them. And after they come back up, they've got all of their spell slots back. So it can be a lifesaver in certain situations. You also get the Circlet of Psionic Revenge. So whenever I succeed on a saving throw, the enemy who tried to inflict that saving throw on them is going to take 1d4 psychic damage. Githyanki, who are wearing it, also get a +1 bonus to all of their martial saving throws, which is good. It can help them avoid all sorts of negative things that go along with spellcasting. Not your martial saving throws, your spellcasting saving throws. So can help you resist all sorts of stuff, like being put to sleep, being charmed, all of that sort of stuff. It can help you resist all of that. Okay, so I kind of figured I was going to get overloaded at some point, because remember, I don't have great carry weight on my Paladin anymore. Okay, so we'll make our way back in here. Got an elegant chest we can search here, and actually I'm going to start searching these with Lae'zel. And we get the strange conduit ring. So while concentrating on a spell, the wearer's weapon attacks deal an additional 1d4 psychic damage. So important to realize that Hex is a concentration spell. So if I Hex somebody, not only am I going to be getting a +4 bonus to weapon damage from Arcane Synergy, I can also get an additional 1d4 damage bonus from the Strange Conduit Ring. So here I'm wearing Crusher's Ring. The movement is great. The Ring of Arcane Synergy. So here's also another way for me to get Arcane Synergy. If I deal damage with a cantrip, which includes Eldritch Blast, which I use quite a bit. Anytime I deal, but it also would include... Oh, I don't have it here. I didn't pick it. So... Yes, I didn't pick it. So, every time I cause damage with Eldritch Blast, I also gain that additional 1d4 damage. So this would give me multiple ways to do that. I'd have to give up 3 meters of movement speed. That's not necessarily a horrible thing because I do have so many opportunities for Misty Step that are available to me. I might come to regret that, but we'll have to play with it and see. For right now, I definitely want to play this out this way, and she gains momentum, which is 1.5 meters of movement speed. I'm going to swap this out for the Grimskull helm on her for now, and we'll kind of see how this change in stuff plays out. If we like it, we like it. If we don't, we can always change back.
With haste.
Hey Dave, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. So again, more crafting supplies and potions. More potions and some toxin, and we also have the skin burster, which we'll talk about here. So the skin burster is a halberd, which means it's a two-handed weapon with extra reach. So the skin burster force trait that comes along with it gives you 2 turns of force conduit. Force conduit is another one of those you build it up over time things. Whereas the more you cause damage with this weapon, the more turns of force conduit build up, and after 5 or more turns are built up, it's going to release an explosion of 1d4 force damage against everything in a 6-meter radius. However, the bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage against the affected entity is reduced by 1 per turn remaining. So, kind of a very situational thing that I don't necessarily think is very much worth it. But again, there's room for everything one way or another in these playthroughs. And yes, that's true also, Lord Henry. So when I crit, or you know, just with a regular roll, or when I crit utilizing the Luck of the Far Realms, I'm going to inflict fear on them because of my Great Old One patron selection. And that fear is a condition, and that condition then allows me to get the extra damage. There are so many things that a paladin can do to inflict conditions. I can inflict a condition with Wrathful Smite. I can inflict a condition with Dissonant Whispers. I can inflict conditions with all sorts of stuff. I can inflict conditions with... Actually, yeah, Compelled Duel actually is going to inflict a condition as well. So, there are so many ways I can inflict a condition on somebody else. That's just going to cause... I don't think there's a condition of Cold Aura that goes along with this. But, like I say, there are so many ways to do it. Also, the Hunger of Hadar is interesting. I don't know if me casting it and then inflicting blindness on anybody who moves into it counts or not. We are certainly going to have an opportunity to test these things out, though. So, that's kind of why I'm anxious to test out how much additional damage I can get here.
Salutations.
So, for Gale, I definitely want to heal back up a little bit. That's better. We can split off 3 of these. 3 more here, and now we should all have 10. Okay.
Let's get going. Breathe deep and move.
Oh, action, not reaction.
Okay, so we have another Ardent here to look through, more camp supplies. We do have a bunch of slates here, and we also have a letter here that declares Voss as a Sharlak, which is traitor in Githyanki. So something has changed here with Voss. He was the Githyanki that we met on the dragon at the Githyanki patrol encounter. For some reason, they're considering him a traitor now. You're going to learn more about that as we go. And what is there? One tiny little
This'll do.
pixel for picking this up? It looks like it. We'll just pick it up.
What lies within?
Don't forget to search the elegant chest here for the glows of belligerent skies. This is reverberation is another thing like force conduit, where you build it up over time, and then once it's done, it releases damage against a target or in an area. Again, if you're lightning based, then, or radiant damage based, I should say, either way, then this can build up quite quickly, and your thunder damage can happen. Where I've found this to be the most common, though, is if you have a lightning charge based gale. Every attack or every hit with a magic missile is a separate infliction of lightning damage. So at that point, you can build up reverberation really, really quickly, and you can get detonations of reverberation quite a bit. So I've found that to be the most useful way of using these. However, I don't have that particular build for Gale here. I use it in my personal playthrough quite a bit. And then always search the empty crates. Right, Philip? Always. Nope, they're empty. Crazy enough. And we'll just pick up this book over here, and now we're going to head out. Okay, now I'm going to immediately go into hiding here.
Light on my feet.
And
what?
Okay, we are really short on action economy here.
Purpose.
Let's see what you're hiding.
Really short.
A purpose.
Some of this I can get back with a short rest, but the spell slots I can't. And we are, like I say, desperately short on some of these.
Adventure awaits.
So I think
All's well that ends.
I'm going to head back this direction,
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
and I'm going to take a long rest. So again, we have a red border around our mini-map, so we're not able to take a long rest or fast travel from here. However, once you're in here, you're able to. And we'll have a conversation with Lae'zel.
I am Vlakith's most loyal servant. She will not abandon me. Kalir's clutch held 36 eggs, more or less. though I've learned of creches that harbored 100. Humanoid. How I despise the term. Githyanki are quite superior to humans. Our biology slates state that Githyanki came to lay eggs after we escaped Illithid enslavement and took to the astral plane. It's an asexual process, a favorable change by any estimation. Hideous to imagine a life where I couldn't partake in the pleasures of sex without the looming threat of bearing children. Shukiani. Githyanki chosen by Vlaakith herself to bear young. The Queen assigns when and where they must lay, and how many eggs they must bear. The Shukiani pass their eggs in the material plane. In the astral, time barely passes. It is a meticulous process, carefully timed so that the eggs hatch at once. Go on then. My own Savage would never have threatened a youngling. A waste of time and energy. The pupils themselves culled the weak from their ranks. I myself felled 4 of my own classmates once Kalir had 100 times circled Tyrell. Of course. My people have no use for cowards. Every trainee that I slayed was either too weak to withstand the lessons, or was cocky enough to pick a fight they could never win. They underestimated me, so they paid the price. The Githyanki are only as powerful as their weakest warrior. Jaquith de Venzir, the termination of the frail, strengthens us.
Your mind connects with Lae'zel's, and together you envision the Githyanki disc.
Another part of the Orpheus tale. This one has been translated to Common. Fine. The Prince of the Comet, Part 2. The Prince of the Comet, Orpheus himself, led his honor guard into battle. Their red dragons bellowed with righteous anger, and the heavens erupted. The glorious prince cried to all who could hear him, "Praise be to my mother Gith, the queen of the one sky, sacrificed to the hells by the renegade Vlaakith." But the true heir, the Prince of the Comet, could not overcome Vlaakith's knights and their ill-gotten worms. Mighty Voss, Gestil Kithrak, lit the astral sky aflame. When the ash had cleared, beloved Orpheus was gone. True heir, glorious prince. There's no greater crime than to exalt the pretender called Orpheus.
There's a lot of lore there, but mainly about the conflict between Orpheus and Vlaakith, and how Voss played an integral part of it, and we'll see more about how that plays out later on.
I think we taught that Inquisitor a very valuable lesson. Won't be ambushing anyone else in a hurry, or doing anything else, for that matter.
A private word would be nice.
I think we've overstayed our welcome in this place. If we ever truly had one to begin with. We should leave.
Nothing new there.
All I wanted was to get a worm out of my head. I didn't sign up for dimensional travel and murderous Gith.
Let's dash for the exit, lest we suffer the full extent of Vlaakith's fury.
Okay, and I think that's it. Let's go ahead and head to bed. Thanks, Dave. Why I love my chat. You guys are awesome. Alright, so now we will head out here. First, I want to check on my... I think I do want to go ahead and use this. And then I'll hold off on the next one, or my plan is to use the other level 1 spell slot to cast Hex.
Eager for battle.
I wonder what the next move is.
Yes? Is that blood?
Right.
No, never mind.
So we're going to go into hiding. We're going to toggle our group here. And ironically enough, because of the headband, I believe, or the gloves that Gale is wearing,
A wizard, not a cat.
he has the highest dexterity. Really don't necessarily want to put him out there like that, though. I think I'll just go in with my Paladin, because with Lae'zel in our party right now, Astarion is not with us. So she's only here because of this quest line. Once this quest line is done, then we will bring Astarion back. Okay. So we'll go ahead and start this off here. Well, I guess I could start it off, but if I don't want to take the chance that it goes away. I don't know how well I'm going to roll on initiative, so I don't want to start this with Hex. She's ready to parry. Oh, I missed anyway. Yeah, rolled horribly. At least those two are having to dash to get to me, however, she is not. And these ranged attacks are all going to come in. Yep. So that removed Armor of Agathos because... Alright, so I was hoping I'd at least get a little bit more out of it than that. Well, I will say one thing for this. My underdog's bravery is certainly going to trigger here. So, all right. So Gale, I think we can get. I'd prefer if they weren't back there for this. And again, I don't want to cast X yet. I want to wait until I get my turn here. So
Keeping low. Not one
false move.
Let's try and see if we can get a disarming strike on the commander. Of course, she missed. Prefer not to make that attack yet.
Better tread carefully.
See what my chance of landing a guiding bolt here is. 84%. I'm not really interested in the damage nearly as much as I am the okay. So she has the guiding bolt for 2 turns, which is good because the next attack roll against her has advantage. And radiating orb, so she's got a -2 to attack rolls for now, and that applies to both of the wolves as well. Rolling horribly on initiative.
This is no fun at all. Immediately.
Would really prefer to get more people than just them if I'm going to use a 4th level spell for that. And the problem with Wall of Fire is it's got a fairly short radius for me to cast it in.
Come on, can't stay idle.
Whoops. Okay. I think I know what we're gonna do.
My knees are starting to ache.
And then I want to get Gale back out of the way. How did he go into hiding? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, that'll be a wasted turn for now for Gale. Okay, so now all of them are blinded, so they're going to have disadvantage on all of the attack rolls against me. I'm going to have advantage on all of the attack rolls against them. As long as they're in here, because I have dark vision. So again, I want to wait. Just to make sure that I'm not going to lose out on anything here.
Victory awaits.
Okay. So now you see ranged attacks cannot take place into or out of darkness. Which is not a problem for me. Because I'm going to come right up here to the edge of this, and I'm just going to wait and see if any of them decide to come out of there. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to use my opportunity attack here. I think I'm going to wait and see if the commander moves away first.
No. Anything but a wolf.
He's going to have to dash because he can't shoot through that. All right.
People seek my head. If they will not see sense.
So one thing that I do want to check there, for some reason her actions got turned off. Not entirely sure why.
Nothing will stand in my way.
All of the reactions got turned off.
Let's end this.
Battle of wits.
Okay. So I was like, why did she react there with riposte? I wasn't entirely sure why, but now I know why she did.
Another fight.
Okay, so now let's cast Hex. And we're gonna Hex her strength. Okay, so now she should have the hexed condition that I have applied. So now I should be gaining Arcane Synergy, which I did. So that's a +4 to damage from my Charisma modifier. From here. I should also be concentrating on a spell, so I'm going to gain an additional 1d4 from Strange Conduit. And I should have advantage on this attack, which I do. So let's go ahead and make this attack and see what happens. She's at 61 hit points here. Okay, so I will throw Luck of the Far... I rolled... I rolled 20 total. So I'm going to throw Luck of the Far Realms in here as well. Might as well. Okay. That took her down to 28. I'm going to throw Divine Smite in there. Okay. So... first, I rolled a 6. I got a +4 from my Charisma modifier. I got +3 from the +3 damage bonus from Blood of Lathander. I got +2 from Dueling because I'm using Sword and Board. I got a +4 from Arcane Synergy. Then I got a +1, I forgot about Savage Attacks, that went on the crit. Then I got a D1 Strange Conduit, which I rolled 2d4 instead of 1d4. And I rolled 2 4s, which got an 8. I added in the Hex damage, which instead of 1d6 is 2d6 because of the crit. That got me a 5. And then Divine Smite on a crit came in and hit for 37 8d8 radiant damage. Plus another 1d8 on that crit for Savage Attacks. And it re-rolls the Hex Necrotic damage again because it's a separate attack and rolled 8 out of a possible 12. So you saw a lot of great things come into play there. The advantage on that attack, even against somebody with an armor class that is 18, I think, allowed me to get a 94% chance to hit because of attacking in darkness when I have dark vision. There's just so much there. And now I do have my extra attack.
Blood follows me everywhere.
Okay, so I'll end my turn with that.
They burn.
Now for Gale, I may as well use my Ray of Frost cantrip here. I've got advantage on this. Let's see if I can just kill this one.
The iron is hot.
Okay, so rolled fairly low on it.
Concentrate.
Okay, so I am frightened here because of wolves. So I'm going to have disadvantage on my attack rolls. But I don't have disadvantage on things that do not take an attack roll. Okay, that's going to reinstitute Radiating Orb on them both.
I am fury. I am death.
And my hope here is that Lae'zel is able to clean these both up. So let's see, it's 50-50 with that on. They don't have high enough hit points for me to care. So let's try and clean them up here. One. Use my bonus action from Great Weapon Master. 2. Use my first extra attack. And now I still have Action Surge if I want. But let's move toward both of them. I'm blinded, but again, I don't care. As long as I stay in it, they can't ranged attack into here. So he becomes useless. Okay, so now me. Ah, okay. So yeah, we'll move... 28, 32.
Time to press ahead.
Move here, we will reapply Hex. So I've applied a condition again. Arcane Synergy's up. So there's the 4 damage from Strange Conduit. And yes, I'm still getting the +4 from Arcane Synergy. So yeah, this is going to be a big damage buff for me after coming out of that room. Should have dashed there. Oh yeah, can't go through darkness.
Ready. On the move. I will ascend.
And now Lae'zel, we will move around the back here.
Make way.
And hopefully we can get rid of both of them. So we'll do a disarming attack here. Wow. He's got an armor class of 15 and you're missing. Okay, there it is. Now we'll use our action surge. Let's use our pommel strike here if we can get it in. Nope. Don't need to use another superiority die here if it hits, and of course it doesn't. Lae'zel, is anyone noticing a pattern here? Great Weapon Master is not on. He tends to have hot streaks and cold streaks like nobody. Oh. Wow. All right then. Well, I guess that teaches me a lesson. So that broke my concentration. So in that case, having the bonus to Constitution checks, or the advantage on Constitution checks, would have played out, but then I'd have been missing the damage bonus anyway. So wouldn't have mattered. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other.
Death won't take me yet.
Why? Wow, Divine Smite is turned off. What happened to these settings? I really wish I knew.
What fools these mortals be. Onward.
Let's finish this.
Ready and willing. Have a lot on my mind and,
Okay.
well, in it.
It's entertaining for us. Thanks, Philip. Like I say, I do love my chat.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
That's the second time you said that, Henry. I think that's becoming a thing for you. I have to talk nice to her, you know, so she's trying her best. I'm gonna get Lae'zel a participation trophy for this adventure, I think. You were here. Thank you. We appreciate all you did by showing up. That is true. You guys get to see me have chaos so that hopefully you guys don't have it.
Action, not reaction.
So now we'll look at the commander here. And the commander has the Soulbreaker Greatsword. The Soulbreaker Greatsword is a straight upgrade over the Githyanki Greatsword. Still has the same Githborn psionic weapon trait. However, you're now going to gain a +2 bonus to initiative rolls. So that's an additional 10% higher bonus on rolling initiative. It is still the same +1 weapon. However, it has Soulbreaker, which is a weapon action. So once per short rest, you can rend the enemy's body and soul and possibly stun them. So you can see we're going to gain additional damage here. That's 11 to 24 as opposed to 8 to 21. And you can possibly stun them where they can't take actions, bonus actions, or reactions. So once per short rest, you can basically immobilize, or not immobilize, but you can set a target up to be the single point of damage throughout the rest of that round. So, or the next 2 rounds, I should say. And there's nothing on the wolves.
No one back home will ever believe
Okay,
this.
so
Assume nothing.
now I
I
need.
applaud your taste.
Very well.
We're still good for the next encounter. Actually, we're not. So the lesson that I've learned is that it's too hard to maintain concentration here. So Armor of Agathis probably isn't going to be a great use of a spell slot for me to utilize. And I want to probably save both of those level 1 spell slots for Hex. So that if I get hit and I lose it, then I can reapply it again afterward. Is probably the best usage of my level 1 spell slots. So that being said, if I'm going to cast Hex again, I'm definitely going to need to take a short rest here.
More for me.
Because if I don't, then I'll be able to cast Hex, and then I won't have any Divine Smite spell slots left after that.
Open up.
Forgot about that. Whoops.
Assume nothing. Securing. Objective noted.
So I have 1, 2, 3 encounters left. So I think we're going to go into this next one without it. I want to
Ready for anything.
save my action economy here.
Securing.
And we have enough here to get through this. Without... And I'm prepping Astarion because he's going to be back in the party fairly quickly. Okay, so we're going to move back here. Split the group apart. I've got enough of these for Lae'zel to take one, and for me to take one.
My time in the shadows.
And now here again, I'm going to go in with me.
These boots have
Not
seen
the
everything.
greatest initiative rolls. But I do want to do something else here first. I want to try and kill this door. The reason for it, you can actually see it right here. For some reason, these small single doors, see, I can move through it. If I want to shoot through it, path is interrupted. I can't shoot through that door. Doesn't matter if there's a target over here or not. If I could be holding my icon over an enemy, it wouldn't shoot through that door. But that applies to every type of spell that needs line of sight as well. So I don't know why it is with those single doors like that, but you definitely want to get rid of them before you go into encounters like this.
All right, time to skulk about.
So now if I can still walk through it, but now if I range, see, I can shoot through it, and my range spells work through it. Don't ask me why it's like that. I have no idea. I'm not entirely sure it's intended. I think this is a throwback to previously there was a deal with doors where you couldn't click through to the other side of them. If you clicked on the empty space in between it, you would always be clicking on the door. They supposedly fixed that, I think, back in patch 3. But I think it's a leftover from that. Maybe they didn't fix it for all the doors. They fixed it for the big doors, but not these small ones. Okay, so now here with this one, I can hit with it. And I rolled the bottom of the initiative list again. I'm relying on that 20 armor class here. Okay, that's bad. Okay. I needed to get somebody else into combat. Didn't matter who it was. We learned our lesson on hold person with Minthara. If you are the only character who is in combat and you're held, your turn just gets skipped, and you need to get somebody who's out of combat into combat as quick as you can. Luckily, Gale rolled really well. This is not how I wanted him to get into combat at all, but it is what it is. So let's see where our detection cone is here. Pretty bad. Because I really need to get... No, I don't. Okay. Is he going to be able to cast that without moving? Yes. Okay, and now I am going to Misty Step out of here. Hopefully back around a corner. Get him out of line of sight so his concentration can't be broken.
Still in shadow.
Because darkness is the only way that I might be able to survive this. Okay, so we'll end Gale's turn and see what happens in here. Okay, good. One of them decided to leave. They can't make ranged attacks into darkness. That whole person threw a monkey in the wrench, that is for sure. There was... something that snapped people out of this. I could cast Sanctuary on him.
Heading there.
Oh, come on. Oh, because of the darkness. I can drop that at any time,
Death is
though.
but a word away.
But if I do this, he's absolutely dead. If I don't get Sanctuary cast after this, he is absolutely dead. Well, I think it's...
Need to act fast.
I think he's dead anyway. I think we've got to take the chance.
Down straight.
We're going to drop darkness.
Got to keep fighting.
Okay. So now he's not going to take any damage. And let's see if we can drop her old person. This is going to be... I'm probably too close. Nope, I'm not. 60%. 65%. She's going to get a save on that, though. It's a dex save. It's getting a +1 to dex. That's not horrible. Armor class is 16, plus she gets a wisdom save to that. I think I will try this. She made her saving throw. Don't really care about Shocking Grasp. These two are going to be useless. Okay, so Gale can make his way back out now.
With haste.
God, just saved on every saving throw for concentration. Jeez. Okay, so I still can move away here. Get some distance. She is still reeling for one more turn. So normally the Githyanki have fairly high wisdom. Okay, so this one doesn't. Okay, I was actually hoping to get the warrior, not her, but it is what it is. Is that enough to reach him? It's not. She's gonna go away. Let's start pumping some healing into my Paladin. Okay, so here we need to really bypass this ready to parry thing, so I need to hit as hard as I can here. So let's make sure I hit. I'm going to spend a superiority die on this. I'm going to drop Soulbreaker. Okay. So now let's start Lae'zel.
Let's light them up.
Fail concentration. Oh, she did previously on the last one. Okay. All right. Well, you deserve that damage, Lae'zel. Not gonna lie to you. Okay, so I can still move away from this. Small chances to hit here. I'm just using up every bit of action economy that I'm going to have here. That was big. Okay.
Time to push my luck again.
We'll move out of line of sight through the doorway. Yeah, they're both way back there.
Very well.
Don't know if this is far enough for Underdog's bravery to proc. No, but there is bonus on this because of Guiding Bolt. I'm not going to trigger that. He's got 1 hit point left.
Victory awaits.
Okay, so just haven't been able to hit him at all. What's disadvantage on this? Going to get me down to 20%. Would like to get rid of him before Ready to Parry comes back up next turn. But I'm going to take an attack of opportunity. Well, Gale's going to go next, so I won't have to worry about it. I can kill her with Magic Missile. So, need to get rid of Ready to Parry first. Okay, so that got rid of that. So now... I'm not even going to bother to look. I mean, they're not great, but still, 60% chances. I've had 2 of them. I'd have expected to have hit 1 of them. When you absolutely must hit. Okay, so now I can riposte. How many...
Victory awaits.
I have 2 superiority die left. Okay. I have just used up so much action economy here on this fight because it just went horribly wrong with Old Person at the start. So Ready to Parry is there. I need to remove it. Okay, perfect. About time. Thank you, Lae'zel. Way to go. Well done. I'm so proud of you, Lae'zel. Maybe if I talk like that, Lord Henry, is that what I'm supposed to do?
Never a dull moment. Another step forward.
And I don't really care about this anymore. I was hoping it was going to be there just to soak up an attack. Didn't do that.
Indeed.
Okay, so they did Misty Step out. Honestly, didn't expect him to. That's my fault.
Onward.
Misty step. Nope. Stayed there. Okay, this is going to be interesting whether or not I'll be able to get there with my Paladin.
You bow, or you break.
Why can I target that?
What now? One day I'll catch a break.
What, not enough to get me up there? Should have just dashed instead. I'm gonna leave them both out here. There's no point. I'm just gonna be taking ranged attacks the entire way in. Nothing I can do about it.
Survival is all that matters.
It's a short rest. Okay, so a lot harder
Time to press ahead.
than it really should have been.
Endurance breeds madness.
Let's move. Don't waste a step.
So I need to be looting with Shadowheart
Wits
here.
and blades, always sharp. Onward. Let's see.
These things
So
have
must have
stayed
been hit with a
interesting.
disarming attack.
Blackets will be done.
A long way to go still.
What to do?
My faith
Okay.
protects me.
So now we'll just loot the rest of this stuff
No
in
time to
here.
dally. Might as well take a look.
Can't give up now.
Okay. So the Amulet of Branding we've looked at before. Got 2 Misty Steps. I don't need them. So the Amulet of Branding is going to give me Brand the Weak. So again, for a single target, becoming vulnerable to a single attack can be very, very useful.
Let's try this way.
Okay, and Stinking Cloud is useful for Gale. I think he's already learned it, though.
Might as well.
There are chests in here that have more camp supplies. Because we are going to have to go take another one. Okay, so now I need Gale to be looting.
To new horizons.
Okay, and there's the crossbow of Arcane Force. So this is going to go to Lae'zel. So right now she's using Herald, which is nice. It banes a target. So when it's based on a charisma saving throw as well, which not a lot of targets have high charisma based saving throws. So being able to bane a target means that they have a penalty on all their attack rolls. That's more the defensive version. The offensive version of that is the crossbow of Arcane Force. So once per short rest, you can trigger a arcane ammunition weapon action where now for that one turn, that weapon attack is going to do 1 to 4 force damage. Now with Lae'zel, that can be useful because again, she has a lot of attacks available to her in a round. So she can do 2 attacks ranged and then action surge and do 2 more attacks ranged. So she can add up to now 4d4 of additional damage against multiple or single target in a particular round. After that, it serves the exact same function as Herald does, except that it can't bane a target anymore.
At the ready. Forthwith. Interesting.
Okay, definitely need that additional healing potion there. Don't need the grease bottle.
Let's have a peek inside.
No one's stopped me yet.
Okay, so let's see what our action economy looks like after a short rest. So from a health perspective, we're okay. We've gotten all of our superiority die back. We are more than halfway down on spell slots. We can't cast darkness anymore because we don't have any level 2 spell slots left.
Looking ahead.
I have 3 warlock spell slots left. And if I wanted to cast Hunger of Hadar or something like that, let's see what Gale has in the way of scrolls. He has no darkness scrolls. He does not.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Seek and you
Okay.
shall find me.
So I'm all out of darkness, which is not good. I don't have any spare scrolls sitting around on anybody. Doesn't look like it. Oh, I didn't put my scrolls back in my spell tome. Okay, so I think I have enough for this next encounter.
On my way.
So we'll go do it here. Because this one's going to be played out. Now remember, our encounter at the gate here is already done. We don't have to do that one. We have a big encounter coming up on the other side of the map. But I think we can do it. Not the way I would prefer to do it, but I think we can do it. Okay, so who's no longer with the group? Where is Lae'zel at? Yeah, I do, and that's kind of why I'm saying this is the only reason I think that we're going to be able to do this, is because of that, Lord Henry. Because I actually have 2 ways to get it. And we're going to use both of them. I would prefer not to have to do this with Gale anyway. That was one other thing I was going to do with Gale, is check and see. So we have not picked up a scroll of... Yeah, we haven't.
Let's move.
We haven't picked up a scroll of Hunger of Hadar anywhere. So we're going to put everybody into hiding here. I'm going to break the group. I am going to drink another potion here that gets me within 5. I think that's good enough.
Should mind my step.
Okay, now this detection cone is a little bugged. So you have to be kind of wary here before you go into this. So yeah, I'm going to use it before. I want to start this off and see how the initiative goes first. Okay. Hope I don't trigger this. Okay, so this I did not expect. The path is interrupted by that big door too. I've not run into this. Because this door has got medium toughness. So I need at least 22. Jeez. Okay. So that means I'm going to have to get past it for this to work. And that means I got to move into this bugged detection cone. Okay, so I rolled decently on initiative. Okay, so for this, I'm going to dash my way back around this corner. Not jump. I'm going to Misty Step my way around this corner. Okay, I want them to come to me out this door.
Perish by my hand, Istark.
I don't really care about Psychic Rend that much. Okay, so now here. And now their detection cones do not see through that. Let's just do one regular one here. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
I need to concentrate.
Sorry, she was entering combat. What is that, 14? Good. All right. And now for Gale.
Path less traveled.
Hopefully I don't need it. And then I also have the Amulet of Pearlescent Restoration.
Yes, yes. Most excellent.
Because what I'm hoping is that now that he's got that back, I can use Darkness on the last encounter in here. And I think... yeah, see, there... see, that's what's so horrible about that. I don't know when that came back. And I could have sworn I shot through one of these big doors earlier today. I guess I must not have. Because this used to be a big deal back in before like patch 3 or something. See, now here it is. See, now I can shoot through it if I'm going from this side. Because it's like there's a big invisible box here. Because see, I can target the guy in the back from that side, but I can't do it from this side. Like I say, I thought they had fixed all this. Okay, so thank you for moving right to the very edge. I appreciate that.
Make way.
I should have used my bonus action there instead. Yeah, see? Path is interrupted by the door. It's one of those things.
Tale for the ages.
Ooh, that's a big hit from a cantrip.
Can't give up. Got to press on.
Okay, so that was the one with mental instruction. Yes.
Well,
And now me, I'm actually going to move myself back out of line of sight. I'm going to get in a ranged attack before I do it.
with haste.
I do not want Hunger of Hadar to drop. That was a mistake. And that's why, because you can shoot through Hunger of Hadar, unlike Darkness. You're not protected from ranged attacks, so I didn't want him going after my Paladin and dropping Hunger of Hadar off. So we are going to bring in arcane ammunition here. No, we're not, because I can't hit him. Because he's on the other side of the stupid door. Is he in Hunger of Hadar? Oh, he's not. Okay. Okay, so we need to focus on this one. So yeah, I actually will do it. Oh, jeez, here we go. not that one. So, all of them 65%ers, and I hit 2 out of 4.
Mistra Rill.
So, let's maneuver Gale a little bit. Now we'll just move out slightly, get off a ranged attack, and then we'll move back. Okay, so now it's just him left. Yes. So now we can drop Hunger of Hadar.
I can't even catch my breath.
Oh, I'll jump.
Don't waste a step.
Swift and lethal.
Gale, I just want to get Gale out of the way. Oh, path is interrupted, of course, because of the door. Why wouldn't it be? I don't think I can reach him. Nope, I can't.
Make way.
Let me recite their demise.
Just want to protect Gale here.
Can't afford to let up. Moving.
$21? What did he crit? No, we just rolled almost tops on everything. All right. Well, you're going to pay the price.
I will not know fear.
Yeah, Dave, I wish I could. This door has medium toughness, which means you need at least 22 damage to be able to even touch it. Otherwise, it'll just give you a 0. And it's vulnerable to force damage. But again, you saw me when I hit with the Eldritch Blast earlier, pushing it to try and get 22 out of that.
The witching hour.
Need to stay focused. On the move.
Nothing important is ever easy.
Just short on movement.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Okay. Okay, so that went okay. With that encounter, the Hunger of Hadar really tends to clog up the entrance, and the youths don't have a whole lot of hit points.
Anything of use?
Elminster's not around, so it might as well.
Okay, there's not really much else inside of here. It's really just looting the bodies.
Very well.
Did I touch the door? No. And left alt doesn't even work through an open door. Wow. Okay, so I have one more
Looking ahead.
encounter here. I have one more short rest.
That should more than suffice.
And this encounter is over here.
Never wanted the easy path.
This one is the easiest of the three. But it also can be the most time consuming. Okay, so always wait for the detection cones to settle out. Whoops.
Can't risk being in open view.
I'm gonna let him counterspell my Eldritch Blast all day long. Okay, so that didn't even bring any of them into combat.
Should mind my step.
Interesting. Okay, so I didn't necessarily want that to happen. He is quite a ways away, though, so I guess we'll just move in here and do it. Probably low ground. Oh, I got 70% chance to hit him.
Cutting to the chase.
Again, rolled bottom of initiative, but they're surprised, so not too worried about it. So if I move up just slightly... Okay, so yeah, I could. Alright, so now we're going to move, get myself back out of the line of sight. Now he's going to be able to shoot at me. I don't know if... she'll Misty Step out. He's got a long way to go to come reach me. Okay, she did Misty Step. She's going to take the long way. Oh, so he moved down. That's actually really good. Normally he stays up top and he's such a pain to deal with. And see here, I can shoot through this door. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so now I'm going to move out of line of sight. He's going to dash, which is good. That should bring him real close to me. And that's the best of all worlds right there. Okay. So now,
Let's get this over with. My pleasure.
and with hopefully without getting even in line of sight of them, I can cast darkness.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
And now you guys have got a serious problem on your hands.
Can't slow down.
So I'm going to Hex first. And now... and nuke. I think the Raider's like, I don't think so, man. I saw what just happened there. I don't think so. If he would have hit me with any of that,
Still breathing.
you would have seen me rage. You would have seen me rage. Okay, so darkness is going to run out there. Actually, I'd like to just get out there as far as I can, I think, because I don't think she's going to even come toward me, so let's kind of move toward the corner here. Gale can drop darkness, because again, it's not going to matter at this point. And now let's see where our detection cones are in here. Okay. So we might be able to...
A trap, just as I expected. Into the shadows.
Now I think this repulsion mine, if I hug this wall, I'm okay. But we're not going to chance it. And these two, I think, are up here.
Stay vigilant.
Yes.
There are traps here.
I don't think there are any more from here all the way down. If I move down there, though, she's going to see me, I think. I don't know how ladders work.
I am death.
Okay, so she did get it in. Good.
A rough tempest I will raise.
Perfect.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
Okay, so now this room is empty. If you would like to go take the Githyanki Egg, you certainly can.
Objective noted.
There's nothing stopping you from going to pick it up. You just have to kind of know where the traps are around here. And there will be two more sets in here. With this one, you can jump to the corner. And then the only safe spot here is right here at the corner. Okay, so now there is a gas pit trap underneath this. And again, I think we can pull our little Indiana Jones trick. So nobody has enough for this. It's still not enough. Still not enough. This thing is 20 pounds. Okay. So I'll just pick it up and then I won't be able to do that. I'll just move this to Gale. Now he's heavily encumbered. That's not going to work. That'll work. So we'll see if this part works or not. I haven't actually tried this. No, well, I don't believe so. That's a good question. Do I have the Club of Hill Giant Strength? I thought that was on Astarion. Oh no, here it is. Good call. Let's move this over here first. Thank you, Lord Henry. Again, that's why I love my chat. Okay, now I've never actually tried this to see if this is going to work or not, but we'll see. If it doesn't, it's not that big a deal.
Githyanki Egg, at least on the outside, you can see a vague outline of something within it.
We'll see if it goes off. It did not. So it's just like the previous plate that you saw underneath the Necromancy of Thay. You can drop an item on top of it to keep it from triggering when you're picking it up. And then you just reverse what you did to make your way out. Okay. Now, as far as the enemies go, the raider over there doesn't really have anything. However,
Hurry this along. Very well.
Varsh Koku does. He has his boots, which give you resistance to acid damage, and acid surfaces don't affect you. So again, very situational. But is what it is. At the very least, you can sell it if you'd like.
Never a dull moment.
Okay. And that finishes up. There are some crates and stuff down here that you can loot. I don't think there's anything else down there. But you can always come back to this place later on.
At the ready.
If you'd like. Okay, so now that cleans out all of the encounters in here. Remember, we've already finished the main entrance. So we can clear out our inventories, and then we're going to head to the Shadowlands. Is there anybody that wishes to talk? Don't think so. We'll hold off on any conversations. I don't think we have any anyway, but... we are going to have this encounter.
Supreme Kithrak, has Vlakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kier Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen. I knew you would fight, and I knew you would win. I needed to ensure Vlakith's trust. This was the only way. I know you carry the Astral Prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlakith's demise? Skaketh. I should run you through for suggesting it.
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlakith's tyranny. The Prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the Prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the Prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kithrak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness. You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it.
So again, a bunch of different ways to do this, but again, this option here is the one that's going to get back a bunch of approval from her as well as the other party members.
I served Vlakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles, yet she names me her Sharlak. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talak Magir in you, sister in freedom. Together we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away. I should go. Vlakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust. Keep the Astral Prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
Okay, now Lae'zel wants to talk.
What I need.
Vlakith Kosivim Hrath Crashet. Only in Vlakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu slate. But they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlakith. Forsake Vlakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlakith. She has sinned against me. I'd never thought Vlakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlakith to true godhood. Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of Ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the Astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed. I don't know. I can't know. And that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the Prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right. Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better. Yes, I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kithrak Voss at Cheres's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlakith's eyes are upon us. Are you sure that's the best course of action? Confirmed. Until then, I remain at the ready.
Okay, we're gonna leave Lae'zel here. Actually, I won't need to do that yet. We'll go pick up Astarion, wherever he is. Oh, we've got a... Yes. That's a special cutscene with a special camp deal that isn't really a camp.
So, Lae'zel's going to war with Vlaakith? Going to break her chains in Baldur's Gate? Good for her. Darling, I thought you'd never ask. Lead on.
Okay, and then we're going to take... Whoops. So here, here. All of this. This and this. A little bit too much. Okay. All right, and then for Astarion, he's got the gloves. I think I took the gloves of thievery off of him, didn't I? And put them here. Yeah, they went on Shadowheart. She had the herbalist gloves on previously. And yes, the boots of speed go on him. And then for his... we had the... Just do this for... he's still got the silver pendant. Good. We gave him all of this stuff previously because he has Hunter's Mark. So I think I'm going to put the strange conduit ring back on Astarion instead. And give me my movement speed back, I believe is what I had. Yes. This way Astarion gets a damage boost out of it, and he's going to be concentrating on Hunter's Mark more often and less likely to get shot and lose his concentration. Okay, and I think that's good for now with him. So we do have a level up. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the Shadowlands for you guys. Okay, so at level 3 for Ranger, we get to pick our subclass. And for me, that's definitely going to be Gloomstalker. Gloomstalker gives me the Dread Ambusher trait. So, one, I've got a +3 bonus to initiative, so he almost never, ever rolls anything but first in initiative. My first run of combat, my movement speed increases, and I can make a ranged or melee attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage on that first attack, on that first round. My dark vision also goes up to 24 meters, so now it's really hard for people to stay in shadows around me. You've got Dread Ambush or Hide, which is a bonus action class action. So you can basically do the same thing that you would with Cunning action Hide. It's just I have the Dread Ambusher version of it. This doesn't gain me anything since I already have Cunning action Hide. And then Umbral Shroud is, again, invisibility for 10 turns that I gain from my Ranger subclass. So a lot of crossover here at this level. I also get to choose a spell here. And out of these spells, Fog Cloud is nice because I can do the same thing that Gale can do. But I don't think any of the others... I mean, Longstrider's probably the best for him out of this list. And then those two I still like. Okay. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Once we get the cash, I'm going to buy the chain shirt +2 and change out of his spider silk. So Gale is just slightly over encumbered. Now everybody's good.
No one's stopped me yet.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go to... Oh, before we do that...
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Do need something else
his tail, a small bag
from scratch here.
Between his teeth.
Actually, I don't want to do intimidation. Well, I don't have a choice now. I'm rolling that 20. First I've seen of those in a while.
He gives in and surrenders his find to you.
Oh. Got some sandals. Yes, I was just about to do that, Eric.
Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.
Yeah, no, I love it, because Dave threw out Bind Weapon right when I clicked the long rest button. I hadn't even gotten into the long rest yet, and Bind Weapon came out. Okay, so let's make sure nobody else has any conversations to have. Okay. Oh, this thing. We're already here again. I hope your mini campaign went well. I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Moving ahead.
Rebel bark could sustain an entire village if seeded properly.
I should speak up.
Welcome back. Have you made any new discoveries? I do enjoy a good bargain. If anything in my private collection is to your liking.
No worries, Dave. Like I say, thank you very much for doing it. It's certainly a welcome addition to me, because otherwise I definitely would be forgetting. So I appreciate it. So all regular stuff here. Mesh toe sandals, huh? Nice, okay. I'll put some different shoes on. Why not? Okay, so here is a chain shirt +2. So I want to even that out. And then these 3. Don't need that. All of these. See if there's anything else that I want. Yeah, I got rid of the Lightbringer because I don't have a lightning charge build this time. I did, yes, Dave. Okay, and then from here, I think all the way down to here.
Very well. I have mushrooms to catalog.
I greet you, son-child.
So then all of this. Don't need that trap disarm kit, and then all of these. Oh, he can't do all of that. Oh, yes, he can, because I want the elixirs of psychic resistance. Like, why doesn't that work? Okay. And I think that's all. Oh, there might be a short bow +1 in here somewhere that somebody's carrying that I didn't see because it's green and I didn't think to sell it. Nope, we don't need the skin burster either. No, that might have actually been on Lae'zel. But actually Astarion's carrying some items here. $313. Okay, and since he still has a little bit more, we need to go down and see.
We've had some rest.
That's the Bibberbang that was causing problems before the last patch. In case you weren't aware of that patch note.
Have to be more watchful next time.
We'll be clearing out soon enough. You come across a noble stock mushroom about, you give it here. Gods know I've earned it.
Careful, I might.
And here I might actually just give this to her. Because we are going to see her later.
One with the weave.
Let's get on with it.
Make sure there's nothing else here. Got to get the drip on point. I'll do that later. Okay. So now that we are in the Underdark, it's fitting because this is the way that we are going to, on this playthrough, head to the Shadowlands. And the way that you do that Krampus was, that's awesome. That's awesome, Eric. I love that. I love that. I'm glad to see kids getting to enjoy it. So
better not be cursed.
okay, now there are two ways to enter the Shadowlands. You can do it through the Mountain Pass, or you can do it here through the Underdark. The real difference between how you enter really comes down to a main, I guess, encounter, so to speak, on how things are going to progress. So from here we have, well, you'll see kind of how this goes. So, and we won't have a whole lot of time to get exploration done throughout
we offer
here.
our prayers to the Dark Lady, whose comfort and grace heals all.
Don't waste a step. Cursed to put my hands on everything.
We offer our pain to the Lady of Loss, that she may truly know her faithful.
Okay, so we have an absolutist expedition trunk here.
Quick and quiet.
And I don't think I put on any of my bonuses, but it doesn't matter. And what you get in here, most importantly, is the torch. And if you don't have a way for light to be generated on your party, that is a key thing. And that's why they've kind of labeled it that way, is to let you know that you need to be focused on a light source of some type, some way that's going to be able to generate light. And like I say, you can do that multiple different ways. We are carrying something on our back that generates a halo of light, and that is the blood of Lathander. It gives you Lathander's light in a 6-meter radius. So there physically is light. It's glowing and giving off light, which is one of the main reasons why going to the Mountain Pass before you go into the Shadowlands, and it doesn't matter whether you enter through the Shadowlands, or I mean through the Mountain Pass or not, just like we're doing here, we're not coming in through through the Mountain Pass, but at least going and completing the Mountain Pass before you come to the Shadowlands is something you absolutely want to do. Just for no other reason, not the XP or the progressing of Lae'zel's quest or anything else, if for no other reason that it gives you that free source of light that you can use whenever you want. Oh, and I always forget about that, the key. The key to that chest is up here. Okay, so here is it's a map showing an elevator leading from the wilds outside a town called Rythwin to the Underdark. So that lets you know where we are. We're at a town called Rythwin. And we might as well go pick it up, but we don't need it now. This opens the chest down below that we lockpicked. I always forget about it because the chest is sitting right in front of me. And there I go looking in a vase again, which I know there's never going to be anything in. Sorry, I forgot to mute there. Yes, the blood, like I said, Eric, the blood of Lathander is key in going through this way, especially. Scroll of Fear and a Scroll of Wall of Stone. That's good. And we have orders. Can read this. This is basically just a missive from explaining about what True Soul Near was doing, basically to open up this area. And as I make my way to the entrance, I can't help but feel excitement. The entrance is currently blocked by vines and rubble. Quite cursed. Explosive ought to do the job, though. I'm not as experienced in such matters as I wish to be. I set up the explosives, though I'm afraid to detonate them. There's no telling what power these cursed vines hold. Here you have another broken moon lantern. Broken moon lanterns don't do anything for you. You cannot repair broken moon lanterns in the game.
Let's see.
And then here's our exit to the Shadow Curse Lands.
Better be careful around here.
I've never seen darkness like this before. It's unsettling.
Okay.
Darkness or not, we need to reach Moonrise Towers.
And you will start to see the effects of this darkness as you move through here. There are portions of the Shadowlands here which you cannot even enter without without a different source of light. This sort of light that you have, and you can get that from the light cantrip, or the light spell, or that sort of stuff. You can get it many different ways, but those will not allow you to enter certain other portions of the Shadowlands. This light that you have is just keeping you safe from what's happening around you right now. But you're going to need another type of light to progress farther through this. Okay? So you see these markers that are here on the ground, where you have these shadow marks kind of on the ground. Okay, and everybody's staying together fairly well. So now this is what I was waiting for, was... Whoops. Was the conversation with Shadowbird.
It doesn't seem to affect me like it does others. Not as badly, at least. Do you know what this means? I must be blessed. Lady Shah is protecting me where others are left to face her wrath. She loves me. She must do. You're resourceful. You'll find a way. Don't give me that look. It's a good thing that I'm resistant to the shadows. This way I can help you. Lady Shah wouldn't bless me like this for no reason. There must be something she wants of me. Those signs we found about Dark Justiciars. Perhaps they were no coincidence. In either case, I need to watch for any place dedicated to Lady Shah. A temple, perhaps.
And just like we took Lae'zel through on a previous section through the mountain pass, you don't necessarily have to have Shadowheart with you through all of the Shadowlands, but the main focus of her companion questline takes place a little bit later on in what is called the Gauntlet of Shar. So you definitely want to have her in here, but like she says, she is resistant to the shadows as well, so you don't have to worry about her as much out here as you do the other people. And that's why having somebody else with the Blood of Lathander and then having her being separate are ways to maximize your protection while you're in here. Okay, so you get Oleander, and we're going to be learning a lot more about all of these because
shields me. I can feel her.
So that reaction is something you're going to see quite a bit from Shadowheart as we go through this. Okay? And now you have to start thinking about how do you want to progress through. Yeah, that's what really is the problem. And that's why having Shadowheart at the back and having your light bearer up front can help minimize it. I'm trying to actually show you what happens when we get into this, but we'll kind of see how it goes. So, a couple of where you entered on this map is in the far northeast corner of the map up here. Okay, we have a quest to get down to Moonrise, which you can see is way the heck and gone down here on the exact opposite side from where we are. So in between you and there is a major encounter component, so to speak, a major place to be, and that's the Last Light Inn. The Last Light Inn is about over here on the map. Okay, coming in the north side here offers you the more direct way to get there. Coming in from the mountain pass offers you a different way but more roundabout, and you'll see what I mean by that. But first, we're going to head over here into this area. Actually, we're almost kind of coming to the end of the stream. Well, we will. Okay, and again, I like going in small movements anyway, but see, you can see what happened with her. It doesn't show up as a condition or anything. You're going to see that quite a bit as we go through this. People tend to get a little bit more spread out when you're hiding. Okay, and here we have a dead druid's journal.
Let's see what this does.
Okay, it's a handwritten journal from a druid that was trying to make their way through the Shadow Curse lands even after being warned by Halsin about it. So you can see here there are creatures from the darkness foul things. Only my torch saved me. Deep darkness. Flames are instantly doused. The wound stings. The shadows are growing stronger. They are spreading. I need to return to light. Okay. And this is...
To do with the shadow curse? I truly hope this blight isn't spreading.
Okay, and you're going to gain an inspiration from any of your... or anybody who has that particular background. There's a dirt mound over here. Just more crafting ingredients.
Don't want to draw any attention. Wonder if the gods are watching me.
And again, I hide through most of my walkthrough in the Shadowlands because you tend to get less spread out when you're hiding. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, I think I said that exact opposite just a little bit ago. That your characters tend to stay closer together when you're hiding than they do when you are running. You tend to get too far away from each other. Your lead character tends to get too far out in front of the others. So I always keep myself in hiding just to keep myself kind of stuck together, so to speak. Okay, now the Shadow Root Sack is interesting. Okay, we're going to get a Vitriol Shadow Root Sack, and we're not going to spend any time on these today. We probably are going to spend a little bit more time on the alchemy crafting as we get into our next streams, especially after the Last Light Inn. Because like I say, being able to craft some of these things is going to be a lot more useful going forward. Okay, and now you get to kind of a crossroad. You've got a little section up here that you can explore, and that's what we're going to go do first.
Eyes open. Watch the shadows.
Okay, and this is the other reason that I tend to stay in hiding a lot of times, is so I can see what's coming up. Now, in this case, you can see the icons are yellow. They are not hostile, and you can see that they are harpers. We've run into harpers before, right? And the harpers are going to give us a way forward through this. And this is going to be, they're going to give us a map and a place to go and a way to get there that's going to kind of bypass the other way to get here, which next week on the Bard playthrough, we're going to illustrate. So 2 different ways to kind of go exploring, so to speak, toward the Last Light Inn. This is the most direct way to get you to the Last Light Inn. The other one takes you there. It's just a roundabout way where you have to go through a combat encounter first if you're not playing an evil playthrough. So that's why on this one I decided to go this way. Next week we will illustrate the other way to go through using an item that we picked up from Minthara at the Goblin Camp. So this is going to be a great interaction to have at the start of our next live stream, because that gets us to the end of today's episode. So I apologize, I ran into some harder combat there than I was expecting. And a couple of those encounters went wrong and they took longer than I thought. So I wanted to spend about an hour in here. We only got to spend about 30 minutes. So I apologize for that. I expected to do some more, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to get to more of it today for you. I know this stuff is all things that people really want to see. And I was hoping to deliver a little bit more of it for you today, but I apologize for that. So I hope you won't hold it against me too much. But again, as always, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. Without your support, none of this would be possible. I want to wish everyone here a happy holiday for friends, for yourself, for friends and family. And hopefully I will see you as we get close to the new year and next weekend. Don't forget that the Starfield stream is still scheduled to go through on Wednesday of next week. So if that content does interest you, then head over for that. And again, you can check all these times on the About tab on the channel description. So again, thanks everybody for coming along on our journey today. And until next time, fare thee well.